Hi, it's Shanna. I went to the movies today and I saw Undertone. It was recommended to me by one of the people I watch on Facebook. I don't remember which one. I watched like four or five. And they saw it at a film festival last summer and highly recommended it. It was released on Friday, March 13th. Today is Sunday, March 15th. And I saw it in theaters with my partner. Um,
We should stop listening.
You shouldn't have called out to her. It's what she wants.
Undertone is directed by Ian Twosson. He directed it in his parents' house. I learned that. And it was made in Canada. It's an indie film. It stars, what's her name? Nina Kiri. And Adam DeMarco is the dude on the front. So Nina is Evie, and Evie is a podcaster who is taking care of her dying mother. And they do a podcast, her and her friend Justin. Her and her friend Justin do a podcast on supernatural stuff and creepy stuff. And they get these tapes. And they're supposed to listen to these tapes and kind of solve the mystery of what's going on with these tapes. And Evie plays like a skeptic on the channel, and Justin plays the believer on the channel, and they basically talk about supernatural stuff. So when this movie came out, I guess, I mean, it just came out, but this movie's like big thing is the sound. This movie plays with sound a lot. The movie poster itself says the scariest movie you'll ever hear. That's how they decided to market it. They really focused on the sound with this film. This film is dedicated to how it sounds. Most of the film is, Evie puts on her noise canceling headphones, and so we are hearing only what Evie hears, and so we're only hearing the podcast. We're only hearing, her sleep meditation. We're only hearing what she hears. We're not hearing the light flickers, and it's making that fluorescent flickering sound, but it's not because, she's got the headset on. There are a lot of very unsettling noises in the movie. I saw a lot of comments and a lot of reviews online that are talking about how a lot of people said that it was like the scariest noises they've ever heard. I wouldn't say it's the scariest I've ever heard. I've heard scarier. But I would say it was very unsettling. It was very creepy. They were some good scary noises, definitely. The cinematography in it was awesome. The use of the camera angles was awesome. There was some very good points, very good features of the film itself. As for the film as a whole, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was fantastic. It was all right. I think I'd like to watch it again with subtitles, maybe. Maybe a 7 out of 10 on my scale. It was all right. I'd watch it again. I'll watch it again when it comes out. I wouldn't pay to watch it again. Worth watching, for sure. I don't know if it's necessary to go see it in a theater. Like, a lot of people are going to say it is. A lot of reviewers are going to say. Honestly, I feel like it might be better with a pair of headphones based on the way the sound was moving. But there are some moments in it that are loud. So beware headphones while watching the movie. But I don't know. I liked it, but it wasn't as... It did not meet the hype I had expected it to meet. That didn't make sense. What's the sentence I'm looking for? I'd still go, like... Okay, I guess if I think of it like a replay, like if I went back and did today over again, I would still go to the movies and see it. Like, I wouldn't not spend that, $24 to go to the movies today. If that makes sense. Anyway, I'm gonna, talk about the plot of the movie now. Deeper into it. Spoilers coming in. So if you haven't seen it yet, you might want to cut the video off here. Come back after you've seen it. Definitely talk to me about it, because there's some stuff in here that was messed up that I want to talk about. So come back soon. So I saw one comment that said that she thought this movie was, specifically going to be scarier for people with religious backgrounds. And I really thought that made a lot of sense. So I don't specifically come from a religious background, which is funny to say because my mom actually is very religious, but she wasn't when I was growing up. So that came later. And then my dad was not religious, whether he liked to pretend he was or not later. But I did not come from religion, but my parents did. Well, kind of. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I have family that did. And so I saw how that affected them. And I can see how they would react to a film like this. And so, I understand where that specific commenter was coming from, saying how she was more terrified because of her religious background, because of the fact that this demon Abizu. So when I was growing up, my mom was not religious. She didn't have a religion, but she believed in God and whatever. But I've always been a horror fan. And when she found out that I was watching, possession movies in her house, she got, genuinely upset and didn't want me to watch possession movies in her house, because she went, full-on Amish on me and thought that I was somehow going to let demons in her house by watching possession movies in her house. And fully believed that that's how that worked. And I don't know how I talked her out of that, or if I just totally ignored that, which might be the case. I don't know. I was a little shit. Who cares? I don't know. I could be imagining the whole thing. Who knows? In any case, I can understand the religious pressure that comes with that. The tapes. First of all, I get it. When you run a podcast or whatever, people are going to send you random shit. You're going to listen to it. You're going to play it, whatever. So they get these tapes. They get the 10 tapes from the random email. And I assume that it's just a form submission like all these other people have that share other people's stories, where like you email them your story or whatever the fuck, and then they do what they want with it. And dude plays the tapes. So he has no idea what's on these tapes other than the first like 10 seconds, because he says he clicked on the first one and all he knows is her name is Jessa. And so all he did, he clicked forward and listened to that first tape, the whole first tape. So all he heard is her talking in her sleep, and he thinks that's supernatural. So like, then you get to the end and they bring up his name. And she's like, oh, so you're included or involved in this. He has to be involved in this. Like from the beginning. And he's overly concerned with her mom. And then at the end, when her mom is dead, and she's like, oh yeah, no, mom's the same, but she's not the same. And we find that out later too. So like, he is absolutely 1,000,000% involved in this whole situation. And like, that's shady as fuck. So what's with his clock though? Like, so is he actually involved with the demon part of it? Because that's what's throwing me off. Because, okay, so does he, let's break this down. So he is like, all right, so are you moving back in with Darren? Right? Okay, let's backtrack a little bit more. So he says that he got these emails from this, what the fuck, come in Abizu email backwards, right? But what if he is that email? So he tried to email himself and the email didn't work. It bounced back immediately because he tried to email himself or whatever the fuck. He just like, that's why it went through. It didn't bounce back. It came to his inbox and that's why it went through immediately. Oh, there you go. That was the answer right there. Anyway, so, okay. So he emails himself. Then he forwards the email to her. So he knows at that point that she's pregnant somehow. So if he somehow, how would he possibly know that though? Maybe it's just in case? Maybe he thinks? I don't know how he could possibly know that, because she didn't even know that. She had just started getting sick. They said she was about 6 weeks, which they must have done an HCG blood test, I would assume then, because how else would they be able to tell that? I don't know, man. I did really enjoy the little play-in they had with all of the like hidden meaning things in the children's songs. And I thought it was funny while they were doing these things, like while they were playing the songs backwards and like looking for the meanings in the songs and listening for all the words, and they're doing all the, one place called it, alright, so whether or not he knew she was pregnant, which I still don't know how he could, but whatever. So he sends her the email of the tapes that he had because he's the one behind the whole thing. So that, no, he would have had to have known. Because like it all ties down into like, is this some kind of plot? Because he wants her to be with him. Because he's definitely given off the, you know, you're my best friend, but I also low-key love you kind of vibes. So, I don't know. We never really get like a whole definition on their relationship. I don't know. And then they switch and do like dead babies, man. And I did not see dead babies coming. I didn't know dead babies were coming. And there's just dead babies crying. And I don't know if you know this, but dead babies are bad. And, like, my heart, man. Oh, crying babies hurt my soul. And they had so many, and it was so loud. And the movie's designed to make, like, the audio is designed to make you uncomfortable. It definitely is. You can tell. It makes you physically uncomfortable. It's designed to. It works. It does what it's supposed to do. So we're listening to these tapes, and tape 4 is when it started to, like, actually creep me out. And I think that's when she started doing the coming Abizu backwards, and when Evie started repeating it. So, like, Evie's straight up just gonna have a miscarriage or kill her baby now, right? Or no, like, her mom killed her, though. Or whatever. Dude, at the end, I swear to God, so there was, like, 8 people behind us, and, like, 4 people over here, and, like, 2 people in front of us. And everybody laughed at the end of the movie. And I don't know. That wasn't really necessary. It wasn't, like, funny. But yeah. It wasn't a great ending. I don't know. Started getting a little thrown off with all the babies, man. I didn't see that coming. I guess I should have. It's a movie designed to make you, like, physically uncomfortable with sound. Of course they're gonna put crying babies in it. Only makes sense. But yeah, I was talking earlier about the hidden messages in the children's song. I'm surprised it took her so long to, like, they did the London Bridge and Baba Black Sheep, and I actually didn't know the meanings behind those ones. I thought that was interesting, because I do know the meanings behind, like, you know, like Ring Around the Rosie, and obviously the Cradle, and a few of them, but I didn't know those two, and I thought those were interesting. And then the joke I made earlier about using the subtitles, I think those might be helpful if somebody could understand what they were saying a little better than I did, because I'm terrible about that kind of thing. I did not understand. I was 100% on Evie's side during those parts where he was like, "Did you hear that?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Me too, sister. I didn't hear nothing." Ugh. Altogether, it was alright. It was a good movie. Definitely worth watching. I'll watch it again eventually. She didn't kill her mother because she didn't pray for her. Poor girl. I don't know really what else there is to say. I thought it was decently satisfying. Movie reviews seem to be right around the middle. It had 78-ish%, I think, on the critics' side of Rotten Tomatoes, and about 52% on the viewer side. IMDb, it was 6.4 out of 10 stars. And I'd give it about a 7. It's not terrible. It's worth watching. I wouldn't pay to see it again, but I'd pay to see it the first time if I had to see it again. If that makes sense. But don't forget I'm watching. Shanna's always watching.